The sound of the gavel struck like thunder. "Mr. Klein," the judge began, his tone sterile, "do you understand that you are being asked to provide child support for the minor in question?" My sister, Claire, tightened her grip on my husband's hand. "My husband, Ethan." She stood beside him, chin tilted upward, a rehearsed tremble in her voice. "She agreed to take responsibility," Claire said. "After all, the child was conceived during their marriage." My mother nodded from the gallery, tears glistening in the corners of her eyes, not for me, but for them. My father's expression was one of disappointment. At me, I simply smiled. That was the moment they all believed I had finally broken, but I hadn't, not even close. Claire had always wanted what I had: my clothes, my friends, my parents' praise, and finally my husband. I used to think it was harmless envy, the kind that faded with age, but envy, when fed long enough, becomes hunger. Ethan and I married 5 years ago. He was charming, methodical, quiet in the way that made people mistake him for kind. I mistook it too. He called me his calm in the storm. I thought that meant love. I didn't know it meant convenience. It started small. Her name too often on his lips, her number appearing in his phone with trivial excuses. She needed advice. He'd say she was lonely. I wanted to believe him, until I saw her name appear on the hotel invoice addressed to him. 2 nights, same suite, same date as his business trip. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He just stared at me, hollow-eyed, and said, "You've always been too cold, too distant. Claire understands me." It wasn't just betrayal, it was mockery. I didn't cry. Not then, not ever. Tears are currency to people like them, and I had already paid enough. Instead, I spent the next 6 months in silence. I filed for divorce quietly. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. I signed papers with steady hands. They thought I was retreating, but I was building. While they paraded their affair into the open, pregnancy announcement, family dinners, my mother's Facebook post calling the child a miracle born from love, I worked. I traced transactions. I reviewed Ethan's business accounts, and I found it. The money trail. The investment he made using my name on the loan. Fraud. Signed, dated, verified. So I smiled when I handed him the pen during the divorce settlement. The document granted him ownership of the property, the car, and the company, all assets legally registered under his name, not mine. What he didn't realize was that I'd already filed a report linking those assets to fraudulent financial activity. He inherited the mess, and I walked away clean. The baby was born 2 months later, a girl. My parents insisted I visit to make peace. I went out of curiosity, not compassion. Claire looked radiant in that smug, glowing way only new mothers and thieves can. She held a baby out to me, smiling sweetly. "You can hold her. She's your family too." I leaned close enough for her to smell the calm in my voice when I whispered, "Family is earned, Claire, not stolen." Then came the court summons. They claimed Ethan couldn't afford child support. The company had collapsed. The bank had seized the house, and his accounts were frozen under investigation. They blamed me, said it was my doing. I let them believe it. So here we were in court, Claire's voice trembling in a performance of victimhood, Ethan silent beside her, my parents glaring as though I had burned the house of God itself. When the judge asked if I had anything to say, I arose slowly, calmly. "Yes, Your Honor," I said. "I do." I stepped forward. In addition to being my husband, Ethan Klein was also my business partner. Before the separation, he took out multiple loans in my name without my consent. I reported the fraud. Evidence was submitted months ago. The courtroom rippled with murmurs. I didn't stop. As for the child, I wish her no harm, but I will not finance deceit. Every document, every account, every transfer was orchestrated by Ethan and signed off by Claire. Under oath, I can provide proof. My sister's face went pale. Ethan's grip loosened. The judge called for order, but it was too late. The truth had detonated. Their lawyer stammered. My parents turned toward me, confusion replacing conviction. Claire whispered something to Ethan, something desperate, but I didn't listen. I watched the moment it all sank in. The realization that they had built their new life on a fraud so perfectly documented that it would take years to untangle. The court recessed. Reporters waited outside. I walked past them unbothered. Behind me, I heard my mother calling my name, begging me to fix what they had broken. I didn't look back.